Good evening. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me on on my YouTube live, but it's not live. Do apologise for that, but as I think I said before, I am away just at the moment and won't be back in time to be with you this evening. But I'm bringing with you again the Winter Wonderland easy frames. So, well, you liked them as much as I did. What can I say? Absolutely delighted because I love them and I'm very, very proud of them. And it seems that you all like them as well. And so subsequently, they are on a pre-order item now. But the good news is that you haven't got very much longer to wait because, all being well, they will be back in stock around the 3rd of August. So only a week. When we'll be able to catch up with all of the items that are on pre-order at the moment. Just as a note, the banners that we had as well, they will be pre-ordered, but I didn't realise that they would be as popular, and so they aren't on pre-order at the moment. Just remind you of what I'm talking about. That's the Merry Christmas banners. They will be on pre-order, but I need to know the date. I don't like to sell anything to you that I don't think that's even coming this way that I haven't paid for yet. So I want to make sure that I know which date, and it's going to be about 3 weeks time, 3 to 4 weeks time. So I will let you know when that one's back on order. And we've also got Happy Christmas coming as well. So I'm going to be working with this, and I thought we would make a rather special card. So this isn't just your very quick card. This is a bit more involved, and that's why I thought I'd show you that one today. So I'm going to be using the two frames, the outer frame with the snowflakes on and the plain inner frame, both of which can be used individually or together, which makes it all really worthwhile. And I've taken the opportunity of already cutting that out and putting that together. So I've cut out the outer frame from Silver Glitter Card and then the inner frame from Silver Mirror Card, giving you that very special look. And I want to make it into a shaker card of sorts. So I wanted to show you how we're going to do that with this frame. So I take these to one side and show you what I mean. So I've got some snowflake acetate. Now I've put it on the back. I've put it rather with a piece of white backing because otherwise you wouldn't see it at all. So subsequently I've put it on there, and as you can see I do have this in stock. You can possibly just about see that this has got snow on it as such. Now you could use your plain die from your set and cut that out so that you end up with this aperture. This is your piece of acetate, and that will just about fit onto here. However, if you want a more forgiving frame, do what I'm going to do, and that is draw around it. So I'm going to draw around it so that with the piece of paper underneath, so that you can see what I'm trying to achieve. And basically I'm just going to put my die, my plain die down, and then I'm going to draw. I've got a pen because I think that will be better. Nothing is going to be seen. I don't need to get rid of any marks, but I'm just going to draw all around that. And you can just about see that there, possibly. Can you see that there? Oh, not very easy to see, but believe me, I've done it. I've done it. And then I'm going to do another one on this side. Now, as I said, you could cut this shape out and then just use the inner piece, but it only gives you a very, very small border, and you may or may not find that fiddly to do. So I thought, well, let's show you this way as well. And you can see then, hopefully, that that has been done. Yeah, just about see that. Now, if you are going to cut out using acetate, I do recommend that you use a piece of plain paper as well. So let's pretend that I hadn't drawn those pieces and that you were going to cut it out. You would use your die uppermost, then a piece of paper, and then your acetate on top. And then you'll find that the acetate will cut so much easier without tearing or anything if it's got something to bite into first. So not a piece of card because that's too thick, just an ordinary piece of copy paper. Okay. So let's just put that die to one side again, and I'm just going to cut these two out. So just pop that to one side. So I'm just going to cut roughly along that line. It doesn't need to be exact, just as close as we can. And as I said, 2 of them. Just cut out there. So that's 1, and then this one as well. So as I said, this is Snowfall acetate, and it is over on the website if anyone needs any of such thing for doing such a special card. As I say, this isn't your run-of-the-mill, this is a special card. All those little bits we do no longer need, so I shall dispose of those. But we do need our little pieces of acetate. So let's prepare our frame. So as I said, I've already stuck that down. I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to take a 3mm piece of double-sided extra strong tape and put that on all 4 of my edges. If you are doing it where you've cut out with using the die, you'll have to run that very close to the edge, otherwise it won't sort of reach. But this way we've got much more wriggle room. So this is to attach the first piece of acetate to our frame, because we need to a shaker card needs to have the snow or whatever it is that we're using encapsulated into something, which is a big word for a Sunday evening. Thank goodness it's a Sunday evening. But yeah, we need to just use something. Whoops, wanted to peel away as well. We don't want that to happen. So I'm just removing that. Then I shall take one of my pieces of acetate and sit that absolutely over the top and press down firmly, so that we end up with a piece that looks a bit like that. So you can see that's just putting it on one layer. Okay, I'm going to turn it back again, and then I'm going to put some 3D foam tape on it. Now the foam tape needs to reach each corner snugly, because otherwise anything that you put in that's going to be shaking will escape, basically. So I'm going to tear that off so that I know that that is going to fit from edge to edge, and then every other piece fits in accordingly. I've removed the yellow tape, which gives me much more flexibility, because I want to be able to go along the shape of this so that I've got some sort of shape. And then I will do the same again. Now if you're using the little squares and things like that of your foam pads, that's fine, but they do all need to meet completely, which is why either a foam sheet cut to sizes or foam tape like this is so much easier to work with. So I'm putting that all the way around, and I'm making sure that when it comes to the ends, it is completely butted up, so that you've got gaps here, but I've got a completely secure bit here. And then one more piece, which I need to fit in there. So I'm taking the yellow backing off so that it is flexible, but it does mean that this is all very sticky. So I have to be a bit careful. So when we're finishing it off, just make sure that those edges fit completely edge to edge. If not, cut a little tiny piece just so they do. But if you could see, they are right to the edge for this centerpiece. Then I'm going to take some of these sequins. Again, I have got some of those for sale on the website. So there's gold or silver. They're from Spellbinders. And they're just really pretty because they're very shiny and all different colours. I'm going to put a few into the centre. I think I need quite so many as that. I didn't want to get them up there either. Get off when you're told. You can put all sorts of different things in here, but some things work better than others is what I can say. And I found that these work really well. You can got foam, so let me just show you this. This is like a foam that you could use. So that type of thing, foam little balls and that. But it's a delicate design, so we wanted something delicate with it. So I've put my things that I want to shake into the centre. I've got my second piece of acetate, and I'm going to lay that directly onto my foam tape and press down. I haven't in this case added any extra glue to the foam tape because that might make the acetate more difficult to actually get to stick if it's moving around. Then when we turn that over, you can see that I've got a very, very shiny in and out. The static that is within our shaker here will hold some of the sequins in different places, which is what I love to do, rather than see that all of the sequins fall to the bottom. The vast majority of them will, but if we move it around, you can see that they will move with it. So let's make it into a card. Now, I have already chosen an image, and I've chosen this one from the traditional pocket pads, and this is a little snowman which I thought worked quite well. I have already cut it out, and it measures about 7.5 centimetres, 8 centimetres I think. Let me just double check for you, but again that always depends on which image that is you're choosing. No, beg your pardon, 8 by sort of 7. So I haven't taken any off of the width, I've just taken it off of the bottom, because we will then let's put that there, pop that over the top there like that. So I will get my frame to do that. So I've cut a piece of card which is 13 centimetres, dark blue denim, dark denim, 13 centimetres by 13 centimetres, and then a piece of white hammered which is 12.5 by 12.5, and I'm going to stick those two together. Then I'll be able to check where my image is going to go, and I will stick him onto there, but I want to just check. Yeah, he looks fine there actually, so I've centered him up. I'm going to make this into a 7 by 7 card. So the cards I made on Wednesday when we were launching were 6 by 6s, and I commented about the fact that we could always use it on a 7 by 7, and this is exactly what we're going to do now. So our little snowman is going to go on there. Shake the bits down so that we can actually see him, and he will go onto there. Now, because we've got acetate that's sticking here, I'm going to then pop some more of this double-sided tape on, just to be sure that that will stay stuck. Scissors. Because I find that if we're trying to get acetate, glue onto acetate will eventually go off, but can take about 24 hours. And we want to make sure that it's going to actually stay there rather than slide off, don't we? So just going to put some of this double-sided tape onto the back of here. No one will be able to see it, but it will give me a more secure finish. So let's just take off, oh come on, the tape here. You can make shaker frames into any shape or form, obviously. It's not something I do very often, but I think that this particular frame just really works for that, so hence why I've done it. So then bring in my first lot of matten layers, and then pop that onto the top like that, so that we've got our lovely little snowman and very much sparkly and shaky, which is good. And then when it comes to our other card, let's just have a look here. So I've taken the opportunity of doing 3 mats and layers on here. So it's rather excessive, but I think you'll see what I mean in a little while, how it seems to work nicely. So, let's get it around the right way. So it's a 7x7 card blank. I've then taken a piece of my dark denim again, and that measures 16.5 centimetres by 16.5 centimetres. So it just gives it a little bit of a leeway. And that's going to be my first layer of my main card. As I said, this isn't your batch card. This is the card for a special person, maybe the grandchildren, that type of card. And then we're going to pop some glue onto the back of this. So this is the next layer, which is Silver Mirror, and this measures 15.5 by 15.5. No, beg your pardon, let me get that right. I think I've told you incorrectly. No, 16.5 by 16.5 was the dark blue one. This piece is 16 by 16, and then this piece is 15.5 by 15.5, and this piece is indeed white hammered card. So 3 whole layers, and then we pop that in, so that's got all the different layers on. Okay, now from some scraps, let's take a couple of scraps of the Silver Mirror card, and I'm going to put that over these corners. So just these corners. You could, of course, cut out a whole one of your own so that you cut it from there. But if you've just got some scraps, you just need a piece that's going to cover that area and then also that area. And then, as I've already done it, I have got 2 pieces, which are like 2 corners. And I'm then going to take this, oh, if I can pick it up, I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to position, let me take out the bits that haven't fallen out. I'm going to, because we could trim the whole bit off, cut all the snowflakes off so that you had a completely plain aperture, so you just have that, so you trim all of these off. But if we put this behind my blue piece, I think it's going to look rather good. So I shall put some glue onto the back of there. Got a piece that's on. So that's straight onto the front of there, and I shall position this piece over there, whoops, so that that just grabs that. Now it will take a second or two just to grab, and then I'm going to do the same with this piece, which is going to fit down in the opposite corner. So again, put the glue on and sit that on that corner. So that, when we then bring our card in, I've put it as a top folding, we've then got our beautiful frame doubled up with something blingy in every corner. So the piece that comes out of here, this Silver Mirror card, you can easily fit your corners onto there. I'm just going to then, because it's a very special card, turn that over, and I'm going to add some 2mm thickness foam to this one. Just so that it sits up. So this one is not such a deep foam, but that's fine. And piece on there. Peel off the backing, and I will add a little bit of glue to these pieces as well. So we go from the sublime to the ridiculous in terms of how much work this one involves. But when you've got someone special in mind to give this to for Christmas, who would appreciate a little bit of the old shaky shakies, check where my top fold is and then pop that onto my card like so. And you can see we have got a rather special we have got a rather special card here. I think that it's worth doing with all the bling in it. Now personally I would prefer to have bling rather than snow, because sometimes the snow can be a bit static and can sort of sit where you don't want it to, but you could put little cutouts. We had at our workshop just this last weekend the little stars, which could also be used. You could use little jewels, gems, obviously non-sticky, all of them, but just to give it a little something. And when you've got the snow acetate, you could of course use plain acetate, but I think that as it is a Christmas card in all its glory, I think that looks pretty good. Got all of the light shining on it as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed a little something different with the snowflake, the Winter Wonderland easy frame, but also with the snow and the shaker card, something quite different for you. I will be back on Wednesday, and just to re-inform you that anyone that's a subscriber will get over the weekend, will get information about the August, can you believe it, August card kit, which will launch next Sunday, the 4th of August. So you can look out for that in your emails, folks, for those of you who are signed up to the subscriber list. But I will be back on Wednesday to tell you more about all sorts of loveliness coming your way. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great weekend, or rest of the weekend, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you very much. Bye.